Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. We're going to do a little bit of a Blu-ray pickup video. Now, I have been picking up films for the longest while, and the one thing that always kind of gets me, the one thing that I kind of miss most about collecting is going into a bricks and mortar store and having a browse through all the films that they've got there. Where I work, there is a local HMV that I sometimes pop into. Sometimes I'm actively looking for something. Other times, I just want to have a nosy about. I want to feel in a comfortable environment. Sometimes I go in just looking for one of those, kill 10 minutes, browse around, see if I can find anything. And before you know it, you've got a stack of movies in your hand and you're heading towards the checkout. I shouldn't really be buying these. I've got a watch pile that's immensely high already, but these films are calling to me and I need to add more to the collection. Sometimes it's a deal that's just too good to be true that you just can't turn away from. And that's what happened to me the other day. 2 for £15 at HMV, and there was a bunch of titles, particularly from 88 films, that I wanted to pick up. I had to stop myself. At a certain point, you just had to go, enough is enough. How much money can you spend on this stuff? Well, usually more than I actually have, but as much as I could have went on and bought more titles, I managed to stop and pick up some things that I really needed to add to my collection. 88 Films is a company that I've kind of fallen a little bit away at the wayside with. Now, I loved them for the longest time. They were a company that I got into very early on with one of their series in particular, well, 2 of the series that they did. It was the Italian collection, as I was getting into Italian films and just utterly adoring them. And the other one they did was the Slasher Classics collection. Now, I have films for both of those collections here, and I will forever collect those at some point. As much as I always like the slipcases, I have gotten to the point where if it means holding off and getting a better price, I think I may have to do that. But let's dive in to the titles that I picked up. So, first up in the Italian collection is Story of a Cloistered Nun. I think this is the third nun-centric genre exploitation film within the Italian collection. Some of them have been good, some of them have been not so good. I will check it out and get back to you with my thoughts. One film that I have actually seen, and I had to include it because it was an Italian collection, is Street Law with Franco Nero. This was a very interesting film because Franco's playing against type. He's not that rugged, take control hero that we know from many other movies. He's a little bit more subdued, a little bit nervous. He needs to be pushed and cajoled before ultimately taking action. But when action comes, it's pretty great. So, I can deal with that. I also picked up Skinned Alive, part of the Slasher Classics collection. And this is one of the things with boutiques that always gets me. Is part of a series, number 51. I have 1 to 50. So I was going to pick it up regardless. I do love horror. I can only hope that it's going to be a fairly decent one. So that is basically an impulse buy because I like that series. And it's done well for me so far. And finally, one that I really was kind of interested in, and it's probably just down to the name alone of this one because it's got such a ridiculous title. I absolutely love it. The Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. Now, I just hope this is fun. It's got Donnie Yen in it, which is a good stamp of approval. It should be energetic and fun and just out there and gross in all the right ways. But that just kind of jumped out at me as something I had to get. That was 4 titles that I picked up when I went for a little walk on my lunch break. Not planning to spend any money, but ultimately getting drawn in by the wonderful sale, and one that I have been trying to resist ever since. I don't need to go back, but there are certain titles that I need to get. It's tough being a collector. Anyway, that's what I've picked up recently. Have you picked up anything? Have you attacked this HMV sale, 2 for 15, for any of the 88 films releases? Is there any you want to recommend in the comments below? I would love recommendations. Hopefully I won't act on them, but I would love them anyway. As always, drop a comment down there because I like the interaction. There's more content up here or somewhere around about here where you can see more of my stuff. And in the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching and see you next time.